Alright, I'm going to show you how Steve and I made Trixie. We got Trixie around Halloween, and it was a really nice skeleton for what it was. The only problem is it was a very small scale. But it did have nuts and bolts on it, even nylocks, so it was adjustable, and it seemed to be pretty decent. And we wanted it sitting up, so we had to alter it. We heated up the spine, we popped the head off, and then we drilled another hole in the base of the skull so that we could relocate it on the spine, and then propped it up so that we could see what it would look like sitting. And of course we did it all on plastic so we could make a mess out of it and it wouldn't stick to anything. Then one of the major problems is putting clothing on one of these that's that small. We cut the crotch area out of the pants and we cut the whole back of the shirt off so that when we did it from behind and glued it all together, you couldn't tell that it was much smaller. I like to use automotive grade paint, expanding foam, and I used iron oxide primer. The other trick is get gloves. Get gloves, get gloves, get gloves. Use the paint stick or popsicle stick, whatever you can do, when the foam starts to kick off to smear it around, and that's what really gives it that look. The other thing is get some, acetone or MEK or lacquer thinner to clean the applicator so that you can use the foam over and over again. When you spray the automotive paint on there with a squeeze bottle, it eats the foam and makes it really, really nasty. Now the whole trick to the hair, this is so important, is that you spin the hair with your fingers, twirl it around, and get a good grip on it before you cut it. Then put the hot glue right at the end and stick it to the skull. Another trick is, if you want this to really work good, paint the skull first with house paint so that everything sticks really well. Nothing's getting house paint off. So anyway, like I said before, you've got to keep twirling those around, and you put them on repetitively over and over and over until you create the density that you're looking for. And I like to use a lot of hot glue to create what looks like, stuff that's gooing and drawing. I also painted the insides of the eye sockets black so that they were always deeper and darker. All of the coloring needs to be done in layers. Don't just put the same color on. Tint it, tone it, and do it in different layers. That is the whole trick. And then as far as aging Trixie, I don't even remember when we aged her or how we aged her. You can look up any kind of technique for aging, works fine. Lots of blacks, dark tones, and get sloppy with it. So anyway, there's Trixie.